Welcome back to The Sad Moms. Today's episode is a grief gossip segment where we take a step back and look at grief in a broader way. And since we're heading into a season that so many people find difficult, today we're talking about grief and the holidays. I've invited back a friend of the podcast, Courtney, to sit with me in this conversation. Courtney is also a bereaved mother, and she shares her story in episode 2. If you haven't already listened to it, maybe find your way there after listening to this one. Together, we're going to share stories, challenges, and some possible ways of coping as we navigate what it means to grieve during a season that's supposed to be joyful and bright. So thank you for being here, and let's get into it. So the holiday season is upon us.
Mm-hmm. The dreaded holiday season, which kind of starts earlier for us because of birthdays.
I feel like the season really starts for me with back to school. You know, like back to school is now late August. It's back to school. Then it's Ryland's birthday is October 29th. Then it's his birthday. Then it's Halloween. Yep. Then it's Thanksgiving. Yep. Then it's Christmas. Yep. Then it's the day he died. Yep. Then it's another fucking year without him.
Right. Almost the same for me.
Yeah. So how have the holidays changed for you since Alexander died?
I don't acknowledge them almost. I avoid them. That's the bottom line. I avoid them. The first year you'd ask me what I did, and I had to really think about it. I don't remember Thanksgiving the first year. And I think if I sat on it for a second, I probably went to my sister's, but I honestly don't remember. I remember Christmas because we took a trip. I went with my sister and her family. We took a trip and I was flying on Christmas. So it didn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah.
So I remember being on vacation. That even sounds weird to say, but I was out of my element, So that's what I did the first year. And then I was thinking about it last year. Again, I don't remember Thanksgiving. So I remember his last Thanksgiving, he had chemo, so we were in the hospital. But it's weird. I don't remember Thanksgiving the last 2 years.
I don't want the holidays to happen, but it's hard. I have the girls. I feel forced into doing all the things. They want to decorate for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I fucking want to do. So because his birthday is October 29th, Halloween is his holiday. Yep. And I think before he died, I don't really remember caring about Halloween so much, but I guess I did because we always had, he always had his costume. Right. And because he's in a wheelchair, we always would spend a lot of time trying to find an accessible costume that he could wear. And then he'd go to his therapy center and it would just be a fun day. And then after he died, I realized that Halloween fucking sucks because it's all of these kids who are dressed up and happy. And it's supposed to be this other really special thing you have with your child that you no longer have anymore.
Totally. And I think that's another example. I never liked most holidays. I guess the Hallmark holidays or whatever. Before Alexander was born, I never liked Halloween, really. I felt uncomfortable getting dressed up. I just didn't like it. I didn't like Valentine's Day. I thought it was hokey. And I was like, it's so lame. I didn't like New Year's Eve because I was like, that's for amateurs. I don't want to be around all those people. I lived in Chicago, so it was just so expensive. I never liked it. And it's honestly, the year Alexander was born, when all of these holidays happened, I never thought about it. It just happened to where I'm like, I love them. And I remember posting on Instagram, well, it would have been 8 years ago now, and holding him, and he was, not even a year yet. And I just remember being like, I've never liked Valentine's Day, and now I love it because I had my love, So it's kind of the same with Halloween. I never liked Halloween, but Alexander loved it. And what was funny about that is he had texture issues. So he didn't like tags, for example, on clothes. You had to take all the tags out. Certain fabrics he didn't like. But he would get in any uncomfortable costume. He always wore a hat. And I remember getting it thinking, well, he's probably not going to wear the hat, but it's cute. We'll get it. And he didn't take the hat off. I remember being shocked and saying, I can't believe it. It's like he didn't want to take it off. It was one of those things that he opened the floodgates on all of this love in so many different ways, but especially the holidays, that it was like, especially the smaller ones. I think Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think we were still figuring out our traditions, but it was just one more special day that people left us alone, and it was just like us, I guess, So I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to think about. All this stuff happens when you have a child, and you don't even think about it. So now I got to rejigger. Okay, who am I now? Okay.
What the fuck's the point now of any of the holidays?
Right.
That's the part I'm having a hard time with. So.
It's just the in your face all the time. And it's like become with, I think, I don't know if it's social media, the times, or people just want something happy because the world's whatever. But I don't know. It's like in your face all the time. We live in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles loves Halloween. Halloween decorations go up in like the summer. Like you start seeing them at Lowe's. And it's like, dude, it's like you can't get a break from it almost. And I guess that's the part that's hard because you're shopping for flowers, trying to distract myself, do something with my time. I plant marigolds for Alexander because they remind me of him. And I happen to stumble upon a Halloween decoration. It's like,
I know.
and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas. It's like, oh my goodness. So it's just hard.
I was crying in the store the other day because the girls have been asking to put the Halloween decorations up.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years, you and I are in the same like timeline. Like my 3-year is coming up in December and you're January, right? So the first Halloween after his birthday, we didn't put anything up.
Yeah.
And then last year, I let them decorate maybe a couple days before Halloween. And then I took everything off right after. And then, they're asking earlier. And I'm trying to give them a life too and some joy, even though I'm not feeling any of that.
I know.
So it's like, again, having to pretend that I give a fuck, but I want them to be happy too.
I was going to say, you care about them being happy. Is it getting a little easier or it's shifting, right? Is it getting easier or?
I cried in the store buying the Halloween decorations, so no.
Well, right. I was like, that you're probably always going to do that.
Yeah. So I went to the store and there was a bunch of Halloween stuff and I thought, okay, I'll get a couple of things.
Yeah.
But then I sat there and I stared at everything and I thought it's another Halloween that he doesn't get to be here for, that he doesn't get to dress up.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel really bad.
I know. I was thinking about that and here I go. I was thinking about that with.
I'm going to.
I know. I was thinking about that, and talked about this. Like the older he gets, it's like I've just been thinking lately. Like, what would he want to be? Like, what would he be into? When he died, he was 5, and the last Halloween he had, oh god, we went all out. He had treatment that day, and he loved it because he got to show everyone his costume because he wore it. He wore it all day. So all the nurses, they play along, and they're so great. So he was at the hospital and showed everyone his costume. He tried it on like the week before. He'd want to put it on. We'd put it on at night. I would take
What
pictures.
was the costume?
He was into Paw Patrol. So he was, oh my gosh, I can't even think.
Chase?
The blue one, yes.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. So he was Chase. And then I dressed up as Sky. My cousin came in and she was the other girl, the green one. Oh my God, Everest. And it was like so much effort, but it wasn't effort. It was so much fun. And that is something I would never do for just me, but he loved it so much. And so we got the pink shiny vest with the ears and everyone knew what we were. I mean, obviously in him, and he just loved it. And we go to the next neighborhood over and they go all out and they have like DJs. And I've got videos of him just dancing, like in his, jumping up and down and dancing. And I mean, he would die. He would die 3 months later. Ugh. You know what I mean? And he's so like, I don't know. So no, I did think this year, I told you I avoid most, I haven't put up any decorations at all. And I don't also, it's a fine line, right? Like part of it is avoid, and we always say you've got to feel what you feel. And there's no right or wrong. Like your grief, even though our timeline's similar, it's different. Like it is a different journey. I almost said the journey word.
Don't say it.
I know.
Courtney.
Oh God.
Grief path.
It's just a different, we're so different. And so I just worry sometimes you got to honor how you feel. But at the same time, it's like, oh God, I don't really want to be that bitter person who just shrivels up and sits in her house and doesn't decorate. My point in saying that is this year I had a thought, I don't even know, it was like a glimmer that I thought maybe I'll get a pumpkin. One pumpkin and paint A on it and put it on my front porch, and that's it.
I like that.
And that's huge for me because it's taken 3. This is our 3rd, right?
This is the
This
yeah.
is our
Even though
third.
we haven't made it to 3 years, this is the
It's
third,
our 3rd Halloween
because our kids died at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, 23, 24, 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? The time. Yeah,
I
time
don't
doesn't
know,
make any
it's
sense.
Really fucking.
But I
depressing.
thought about getting a pumpkin, and that's a big deal. But just for him. But I'm like, would he still be into pumpkins? Are 8-year-olds into pumpkins? I don't know.
I
Probably.
think so.
Yeah.
I think he'd be into the pumpkins.
Yeah. And then for Christmas, I remember I thought about this because you guys did a pink Christmas tree,
We did. We do a pink Christmas tree now.
which is kind of lovely.
Yeah. So if you're listening, and I probably don't know this story, but Rylan loves pink trees, and it's something I learned after he died.
So after he died, this speech pathologist that he worked with told me a story where they were coloring a tree together, and she asked him, what color do you want to paint the leaves? And he said pink. And then she said, oh, pink, you're so silly. And then she asked him again to see if he would pick green, because leaves are supposed to be green,
yeah,
but
right.
he picked pink again.
Aw.
So after that, I learned that he loves pink trees. So then everyone sends me pictures of pink trees, which is nice. And it's just a lovely sign to have. So that year, I did not want to put up the tree because it feels bad.
It does, yeah.
So we just got a pink tree, pink Christmas tree instead.
I think
so.
That's
Now
perfect.
when I put it up, I just see him, and it makes me, I don't know, happy is
I
the
know,
right word.
I
You know what
know.
I mean? It makes me happy in whatever I'm able to get out of that.
And I thought your pink Christmas tree, I was like, that's perfect because it's Ryland, but it's still Christmas. I was laughing. I think I joked with you at one point that if you see a black Christmas tree, let me know because that's how I feel inside, but I'll still decorate it. But Alexander, he loved the Christmas tree too. I always had a real one. I would trek and get it, and we'd go to the farms, and then I'd just get it at Lowe's. But we always had it. He helped decorate, and you could always tell, like, it's so cute. You have a Christmas tree. I know people who like every ornament has to be perfect. And that makes me laugh because mine would be like sort of pretty on top. And then Alexander's would just be like all in one clump. And I didn't move it because I'm like, no, you decorated it. That's where you could. So it made me laugh, And we had a train. We got a train to go around. I haven't seen any of my Christmas decorations. And there's a back shed where all their decorations are. And it was funny because I was cleaning out the shed, reorganizing. And I know which bins the Christmas ones are. And I just thought to myself, God, I haven't seen you in like 3 years, since Alexander, like last time I saw you, Alexander was alive. And I opened up one just to see, and I was like, okay, it's so weird. Things, even after 3 years, it still surprises me. It still surprises me.
Christmas used to be my favorite
Was it?
holiday.
Yeah.
I was the annoying person that put up the Christmas decorations at the beginning of November.
Oh, before Thanksgiving.
Yes, because I've never really cared about Thanksgiving that much.
Fair.
It hasn't like it's been fine. Like whatever. But Christmas was always the big holiday that I cared so much about, and I went all out and decorated, and then now I can't even fucking think about it.
I know. I don't know if it was a commercial or something, and it started a Christmas Carol, and I was like, oh my God.
Because it's supposed to be so happy and
Oh my
everyone's
God.
all together.
I have a Christmas playlist that I can't listen to. I haven't listened to it. Yeah. And one of Alexander's favorite movies was Home Alone, which is like Christmas. I can't watch it.
No.
Obviously I can't watch any of the movies. I don't know. What do you do? I mean, what do people do? Some people we know travel.
Yeah.
Just to get out and get away.
I think if I could win the lottery one day, I would just never fucking be here. For every holiday.
I agree. I know, and then I think, are we avoiding it? Should we just face it? And then I'm like, no, we'll face it. We have to face it every day, and you face it when you're ready. Like the pumpkin. Okay, I'm facing that. That took a few years. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not because I look at him, and I get too sad. I can't even pick one out because that's what he would do.
Yeah. Rylan has this epic picture. It's one of our favorite pictures of him, and he has a white pumpkin.
Oh.
So we've gotten the one white pumpkin. And then I bought all the stupid fucking decorations from the store for the girls.
For the girls,
because they love it. I know. It just feels bad.
It all feels bad.
Yeah, I think getting away is what feels good to me. I just can't financially handle getting away.
I know. I would be. Yes, I agree. I would be gone all the time too.
But yeah, I'd want to just go see a different part of the world if I could on every single holiday, every single break. Just get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And with Christmas, how are you with gifts? That's another piece of this grief. It comes up, I guess, if we're talking about holidays, Christmas, like Christmas shopping. I haven't Christmas shopped in 3 years either. Buying gifts is very hard for me. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where that came from, but do you find that hard? Not for the girls, maybe. And I don't even know if you guys did a lot of Christmas gifts, but.
Yeah, I only buy gifts for them. And I actually still buy Christmas gifts for Rylan.
Yeah.
I put them under the tree.
Do you?
And I buy him gifts for his birthday.
Yeah.
And when I say buy him gifts, I buy something that we could have as a family.
Okay.
He loves books.
Yeah.
So I'll always buy him a new book and add it to his library for the holidays. Or I don't know, I'll buy something that we can use around the house for him.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
But something that he likes. And again, I think, what would he like now? I don't know.
I know.
So I just hold on to
like, even you saying that, like, gets me. Yeah. That's where I am right now in my grief. Like, so hard. Because I think, what would he be like right now? And Alexander didn't speak. So I wonder, would he be talking now? Would he be saying more words? Would he be sounding out more words? We could probably type, read, and you could spell now. Like, what would our conversations be like? I think about that all. That's one of the hardest parts for me. So you talk about holidays, and yeah, I always think, what would he want to do? Because it was just the two of us, and assuming, depending on custody with his dad and all that, but it's just, I wonder what we would do. Would he want to go back and see family, or would he be like, no, Mom, I'm done. I don't want to go. Let's just take a trip.
And you have a big extended family.
I have a brother and sister who both have 4 kids, and my parents are both alive. I mean, a lot of aunts and uncles that got people in Michigan and people outside of Nashville. So it's not huge anymore, but I was thinking about that. I wonder what he'd want to do. And he'd be 8, so I'd probably ask him, even though I'd be the mom. And that's what's so weird. It's just like the dynamics. I don't know what it would be like, because he died at 5.5. That's a very different parent. It's just different. But at 8, he'd probably have opinions, and I'd listen to him. And it's just, I don't know. So basically, I just want to go to an island for
We're just gonna win the lottery
from August until February. I'll
that-
see everybody in February, maybe.
Yes. I mean, the summertime is also hard.
It's
But
all
I think it's all hard. But I think that this holiday season just brings up a little bit extra, at least for me. And as time is going by, it's just getting harder, and it's making me want to go more into a cave.
Oh, totally. It's hard sometimes to not go into that cave and be like, okay, I don't, I remember somebody saying this one year. Birthdays can sometimes be depressing. I mean, now we know they are, because you feel like everything's supposed to be great, and it's not, because it's still life. Like, you're still going to have a shit day, whatever, but it's the holiday season. And that's why I asked about Christmas gifts and gift giving. So much of what seemed to matter doesn't fucking matter anymore. My new philosophy is, if I find something that reminds me of one of my dear friends or family that I would normally buy gifts for, I buy it then and I give it to them. And I think people have been a little bit patient with me, because I just don't buy gifts anymore. It could be your birthday, I'll probably send you something, or if I go out to dinner, I'll get you something little, but I'm not going to buy a bunch of Christmas presents. But if I see something during the year, I'm just going to give it to you. And I don't know, I feel like it's like this, I feel like it's all related. Like, you're supposed to get gifts, and you're supposed to be super happy, and you're supposed to be, and it's just hard to fake anything like that.
I think what a lot of people might not realize is that we're faking things every day.
Oh, totally.
We have to fake life every day, and we have to mask so much emotion every day. And then the holidays is like that on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
So it's even worse.
Right.
So it's too hard to every day try to navigate life without the person you love more than yourself. And then also try to figure out how to do all the decorations and live up to whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And that takes energy too.
And
we forgot that part.
Yes, the energy part. I have no energy for that.
You only have this much. Yeah.
And with the gift giving, I get gifts for the girls in Ryland, and then I'm estranged from my entire family, so I don't have to worry about that part, which then of course makes me think about the friend part, which my close friends were my family, because I'm estranged from my actual family. So it was their homes that I would be at and that the girls would be at, and I don't have that anymore. And it was my best girlfriend's mom's house that I went to during the Christmas holidays, and to her extended family, they were the ones that I spent the holidays with, and I don't have them anymore. And they're gone. So that part feels really bad, and it brings up a lot of secondary loss stuff,
a whole new everything
for me. And then it's having to be everything for the girls and not having anyone else to be able to rely on, or at least be able to be like, okay, like, Rom and I need a fucking break from this for a little bit. Being able to have other people to be able to trust and have them go to. I don't have that, and that part is hard. And I don't even have that for myself.
Yeah.
Besides the sad moms and dads. But in general, the people that have been there for me are not here anymore.
It's lonely.
It's very lonely.
It's very isolating. And to one more point, to tie it back into the holidays, even people who aren't necessarily grieving the death of a child, I feel like a lot of people, and I don't know the percentage, feel lonelier during the holidays. So whether you're grieving your child who died, or you're just alone.
Yeah, your spouse, your sibling, whatever it is, your mom, your dad. Grief is lonely. It's a lonely, lonely place.
But the holidays in general are lonely. So
when
you add grief on top of that, and it's like, fuck. And then you got to relearn everything. how do you do holidays now without people that you always did holidays with? Or the whole point of the holidays was them, you know?
Yeah.
What the fuck do I want to get gifts for? Why do I want to wrap a gift for you? You don't need anything.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Not to keep going back to the gifts, but it just reminds me of that. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's like the bigger scope of things where all this shit doesn't matter. These decorations
Totally.
don't matter. This tree doesn't matter.
Totally.
These gifts don't matter. I would do anything if I could just go back and have one more fucking day. You know what I mean? I just would give everything to, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's like Christmas comes and then he died on the 30th. So then it's like all of this. We spent his last Christmas with him. So then I'm constantly in another place. I'm constantly in December of 2022.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm stuck. And then I have to just also remind myself that all of that was real. Like feeling now that it feels like it just didn't even happen. It feels like because no one wants to talk about grief and no one really wants to talk about him. I've lost everyone in my life that knew him. So it's hard because it's only myself and my husband and our girls that are keeping him alive. Mm-hmm. And it's really difficult. And it feels like sometimes I'm like, that happened.
I know.
That he exists and my life used to be really happy with him. And it's not that it's not happy anymore with the girls. It's just.
Right. It's there's a hole there.
Yeah. And this isn't my real life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
This isn't the real part. You know what I mean? When people see me with them and I don't know why I'm fucking worried about what other people think. Anyways, but I'm like, this is not it.
No.
This is not the thing. This is not it. This is not what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, hell no.
This is not it.
No. On what fucking planet do no. The whole thing seems like a fucking nightmare. I mean, it is a nightmare, but it can't be. How is this real?
How is this real?
How did this happen?
I don't know.
To me or to you. Mm-hmm. And then and then it's like, well, why not? I guess, but it's just so like, what? Yeah. I had a son who was here physically and now he's dead and he died from cancer. What? He got cancer and then died. It's still, I say it and think about it every day and I still am like, it doesn't even seem fucking real. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It is. And it's like a mind fuck.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? It's when I'm just like, this was real and this was my life. And then now we're going on 3 years. We've come up with these new routines and it feels bad. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? What is this life? Yeah. What the fuck is this?
I know.
I'm doing a podcast as a bereaved mom? What the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, imagine if somebody fucking told me this 3 years ago. Oh, your son's gonna die. You're gonna do a fucking podcast with bereaved moms. All your friends that you grew up with for 25 years are fucking gone. Your best friends are gonna be other bereaved parents. Like, dude.
I know.
No.
I know.
This isn't it.
I know.
I love you. I love all of you guys listening, but this isn't it.
I know. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to put your mind around. And we talked a little bit about traditions and like now what do you do? Like what do you honor? Uh-huh. And I think that's a big thing too. Is it's okay. Well, this is it now, and we do have another holiday season coming up, and well, we got to figure that out again. And what do you do? Mm-hmm. And you mentioned like how do you honor them? And I'm like, I don't know. I just keep talking about them. And I wish I had these. I see other parents that have these great ideas or they do all this stuff, and I'm like, that's so amazing. I haven't been able to do that yet, even though I have all these great ideas and all this, I think I'd love to do all of that. But anyway, in terms of new traditions, it is interesting. And I don't know, do you have new traditions now and how do you honor them and I don't know.
So I think the beach has become the place that feels good to us. Mm-hmm. And I go there every week too, to do all my personal grieving, cry like a maniac stuff. But on his birthday, we typically will find our way there around sunset and we'll sit and that feels peaceful. I guess I try to do things that feel somewhat peaceful. Yes. I don't think we necessarily have a tradition, but being out in nature always feels good and being at the beach feels good. And we're lucky enough to live here that we can be in driving distance to that. But any type of nature always feels good, and being outside or doing something connective. Just something that makes me feel closer to him is all I want to do now. Mm-hmm. So we'll typically, like Christmas, we always go to the beach at sunset. And we just sit there and we'll bring photos of him and talk about him and sit. And I don't know. That's all I've come up with. because I can't fly anywhere. Otherwise, I would be just like, hey, let's go check out every fucking beach on this planet. But yeah, I mean, that's what I have for now, and that's what we're able to do. And just try to feel connected and close to him. What about you?
I don't know. I still avoid, so I try to get away. I try to get out of town. I even try to get out of town for Halloween. It's too much for me because, again, LA kind of goes crazy. And so I try to just leave, even if it's a small trip, or just get out of town. But I was thinking about it, like, for a tradition, like we would always have Christmas clothes, right? And I was just thinking, like, I don't do that either. Like, we'd get our colors on, our red and green. I'd make a roast. We'd use the china, and I laugh now because I don't do any of that. Like, the china's in the back shed. I put that away. I haven't made that pot roast in 3 years. I don't have any new Christmas clothes. I don't give a shit about Christmas clothes. The one thing that you had mentioned in terms of like the beach and how it feels good, I have noticed that every year the feeling gets more powerful. If I think about it, I won't figure it out. But if I'm just going, I think about Alexander all day, every day, but I'll just get a feeling or a thought, like the pumpkin. It just came to me. Like, I think I might get a pumpkin with an A. What? It's like these random thoughts. I don't know. That's happened a few times. Like, I think we've talked about it, like on his birthdays, like everyone, people ask, I just asked you, what, do you have any plans, or what are you thinking for Ryland's birthday? Are you thinking of anything? And that's kind of a tough question sometimes because it's pressure. And you're like, I don't know if I'm going to want to get out of bed. But it is interesting where I have noticed, at least for me, these feelings get more and more pronounced. And I always like to think it's Alexander somehow coming through telling me, Mom, this is what I want.
Like feelings of what you want to do.
What I want to do, or how I want to honor him, or what the tradition's going to be. For example, this pumpkin thing I keep going back to, but it just came to me last week. And I was like, maybe that's what I do for the next 50 years, or until I die, I'm going to put a pumpkin with A on it. Maybe one year I'll carve an A and put a candle in it like we used to do. But it kind of comes to you. Whereas that's never happened to me before. I mean, I'd have ideas, but they're more like feelings. And for this Christmas, I don't know. I've got an idea. We always say, like, you have kind of a plan A, plan B, and maybe even a plan C, depending on your mood. I feel like the feelings are, when we talk about like traditions or how we're going to honor them, I feel like we're going to find our way and we're going to slowly build those up, because right now I don't have any.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad because I feel like I should. He deserves to fucking be honored by the whole world. And sometimes it can get frustrating because it's like, oh, I'm not doing enough to keep his name out there. But I think we are. Hopefully it's a work in progress in terms of the traditions. But it's hard.
I think people will say, we're at almost 3 years. Like, oh, it's been 3 years. But it still just feels like yesterday.
Oh, totally. Do people really say that when you lose a child?
I don't know. I don't know if they do. No one's actually said that to my face. But
no, I know. I'm just hoping that they don't. Is my point.
When you're perusing social media and just when I read other things, I do see a lot of grieving people talking about how people have talked about, oh, it's been so much time, or it's been, it doesn't fucking matter, dude. I have grieving parents reaching out to me saying it's been 20 years. I still feel like it was yesterday.
Right.
So I think, and it could be the same for if you've lost a spouse, a sibling, or whatever it is. It's just always the love you have for that person isn't going away as time is continuing on. It's probably just getting stronger.
Right.
So even though it's been 3 years, nothing feels right. Like we said, I haven't figured anything out. I've maybe learned to navigate things a little better, obviously. Yeah. Oh, for traditions, I do have every month on his October 29th.
Oh, yeah.
So every month on the 29th, I bake something for him. And you guys, I don't bake. So it's just not.
That's great.
Like, I don't bake. It's not my thing in any way. But I've been attempting to, because at least I'm just making something sweet for him. And like I'll sit, and while I'm baking that day, I'll listen to music that he likes, or listen to music that makes me think of him. And it's good. Yeah. And it's a way to continue to celebrate his life in a small way in our home.
Yeah.
And it gets the girls and Rom get involved too. They're like, oh, what are you going to make this month? But this is my idea. So
that's cute. That's a great idea.
So that's been good. So I like that. So that is something small we do as a monthly tradition, which I like. But as far as the holidays in general, it's like what you said, like you need to have kind of your plan, and they need to have a backup plan.
I know.
Set up just in case you can't do the plan. And I don't have the expectations of being around a big family where you have to go to things. What do you do like when you have to be at like a
I don't
family?
have to be.
You don't. Okay.
No. And maybe I'm supposed to be, but no. I don't think people expect much. I think the expectations for me are pretty fucking low, which may be a whole other podcast. But no, I think part of it is like, I don't know, maybe my family's perceptive and they're just like, I'm just going to leave her be. But I feel like a lot of times people don't want to poke the bear. It's almost just like, well, she'll just tell us what she wants to do because we don't want to, ruffle feathers, or we don't want to upset.
Do you tell them? Do you say, hey, this is what I need for this holiday? This is what I'd like you to do?
Oh, that would be really emotionally mature, but no.
I mean,
What I did, I actually, I did this year. I did say that I wasn't going to be home. Like, I wasn't going to go back to Michigan for either holiday. My plan was to go, there's a trip that I found through a group that multiple friends have been on. And so for solo travelers, there's one for Christmas, like the 23rd through the 27th. So I would be gone, which would be lovely. And obviously the people that are going on this trip don't really give a shit about Christmas. Yes. So I figured like we're already off to a good start. So I did think about that. And so I did tell my family, like, this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to, I'll come back to see everybody before Thanksgiving. I don't know what I'm doing on Thanksgiving yet. And I'm not coming home for Christmas because this is what I'm doing. So, and I think Thanksgiving, now that you say it, like, now that you asked me that, Thanksgiving that's when we would go back. So Christmas, we always stayed here. And if people wanted to come out, my mom sometimes would come out. Even when Alexander's dad and I were together, we always went east for Thanksgiving. And so that's just what we always did. And for Christmas was always here. So that's probably why Christmas more so I'm just like, I got to get the fuck out.
When you do go home and you're with your family for whatever reason, how does that feel?
The holidays we've already established, I do my own thing, whatever, or we travel. And that's different because it's not like a family tradition where you're doing the same fucking thing that Alexander would have done. For other things, the thing that we've had the last few years, two of my sister's kids, who I'm very close with, I've known since they were born, obviously, but I've been with them a lot since they were born, graduated from high school. That was fucking hard. Yeah. And that my whole family went, like my immediate family went, and my brother-in-law's family, who, again, we've all known each other for 30 years. So they were all there. That was really hard both years. And it's just, and we talked about like, he should be there. He loved his cousins, they were all older than him, obviously. And they were so good to him. And he would just light up when they would come around. And he was like a different kid. And so that's the toughest part. And then when they read the fucking names, you just know. And when he was born, and I don't know if you did this with Ryan, but when he was born, we're going through the names and we're taking the names. And honestly, when we say it, I say it out loud to be like, okay, that's what it's going to sound like when they read for his diploma, at college, at high school, whatever. So that part's really hard. And that's been the only, and then my grandma died this year. And so I saw my extended family, a lot of whom I had seen since Alexander died. And there were definitely moments. And then I'd feel guilty because I was crying for Alexander, not my grandma. But my grandma, in all fairness, and she was ready. She was 99 years old, She had a great fucking life. All of her family was there. All 5 of her sons were there. It's not sad. It's sad because it's a part of my childhood. And I can't talk to her anymore, but it's not sad. She was ready. She lived a fucking great life. May we all be so lucky, even though we've all talked. None of us want to live till 90. So that's the hard part. It's definitely hard. And maybe with more practice, like the families, I don't know, maybe people, I know we're not in that group, but the people who have a ton of family functions and are together, maybe it gets easier. Maybe they start to do it. They don't really leave off, they don't avoid it. So right after their person dies, they just keep doing it. And maybe it's not as hard. Maybe they find comfort in it. I don't know.
Or maybe it's like another thing that you have to just be like, okay, I'm just doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I can't imagine having to be in a big family function for Thanksgiving and sitting at that table and the person I need to be there is not there.
No. I think it'd be hard, but then, at the same time, like I know some of our friends, like they keep a chair, light a candle.
I know.
And then you talk about them. So then maybe you're like, oh, well, I've got a whole house full of people talking about my person, which it still sucks because they're not there, but maybe it is comforting. Like maybe we're going about this the wrong way. Maybe we shouldn't avoid and we should.
I don't know, dude. In a day.
I'm just kidding.
On a daily basis, talking to other people is exhausting.
But if you were in a room of people that loved Rylan and you made a space for him, you lit the candle, which I did, but I just remember lighting the candle. And I do remember at some point getting his placemat out because I got him placemats for every holiday with his name just because it was fun. And he was my only kid and I could do that. And I did get that out. And I think I got that out the week before. But I did. I lit the candle and it was nice. I think that's a good idea. But anyway, my point is, if you had a group of people who all loved Rylan and you got to do that, light the candle and talk, it probably wouldn't be as, it'd still suck, but it would also maybe be comforting,
Yeah.
you know?
People are going to have to let us know what they do.
I know.
It's
I'm
never
so curious
I know.
now.
It's never going to be my reality, so we'll see.
Girl, if we've learned anything, we know that like years and everything, whatever you think is going to happen, probably, you know, it could be completely different in 1 year.
How do you think friends and extended family can show up for grieving people during the holidays?
I think this is such a personal question because I'll tell you what the first thing that comes to my mind for me, and that may be totally different for other people, but I think talking about them, I would love to get, I feel like I never really sent out a lot of Christmas cards, for example, but I used to get a lot because I don't know, I get a decent amount. And ever since Alexander died, I get like 2. And I think people are scared. I feel like that a lot. Like people are scared of me. And I can't think of a better, more articulate way to say that. But it's like they don't want to send me the card because I don't know, they have a fucking happy, healthy fucking family and I don't. Like, I don't know. The other thing,
Fuck those Christmas cards.
fuck us. I know, but it's the point that it's like
Yeah.
you sit here and you're like, I used to get one every day and now I get 1 or 2 a year. Like, why? Because my kid died? Like, and I think that, and I love when people, I still have one friend. It's so sweet. Whenever she sends me a card or something, she always, and I think some of the sad moms have done this too. Actually, they have. They write Alexander just like they would have. Like, you know, that Courtney and Alexander, and I love that. I still save mail that comes from him because I can't throw it out. Sometimes I do. But like other stuff that's like to Alexander Wood or, you know, to Alexander Wood's parents, I can't throw it out because I'm like, shit, this is going to not come pretty soon. So to me, that's a huge one. If you're going to send me a card, which that'd be great, I may, you know, to your point, I might be like, fuck you and your healthy family, but I'm still... I'm still appreciative for the card. It's just, it's hard because I wish my son was here and healthy too, but
Any mail that comes for Rylan, I save it.
yep,
And if somebody addressed mail to me and included his name,
yep,
I would love them forever.
Yep.
Because it would mean that they got it.
yep.
You know?
Yeah, when I
Don't
get,
forget about him.
No, when I
Like
get the-
he's still part of my family.
I know.
Keep, you know.
and when I get the Courtney and Alexander, I love it. And I still sign most cards, unless it's truly, I always think like, okay, if Alexander were alive, would this just be from me or would it be from, you know, both of us? And sometimes it's just me. Like if it's a friend's birthday, that's just me probably. But I still sign and I put it in parentheses, which maybe I'll, you know, but it's Courtney and Alexander always, comma, always. Like
Yeah.
it's just from us. He helped me on some level pick it out, you know. So I think that's a huge one. And I don't know that people would really do that, but why the fuck not?
Do you think that's just a bereaved parent thing, or do you think people going through other types of loss would want that?
That's
wonder.
a great, I don't know. That's
don't
what
know
I mean.
either.
It's a hard, you're asking me and I'm telling you, you know, I'll tell you what I think, but I think we've said this and the more time that passes, I just feel like it is so personal. I'm thinking of somebody else I know who lost her sister. So they were so close and it's torn her up and she's having a tough time. And she lost her in a tragic accident just about a year ago. And I'm thinking, what would she like? Would she like that too? And I definitely know that what seems to be what everybody, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a sibling, from what I've heard, is to talk about it and to mention them. So if that's writing their fucking name or just mentioning them on some level, I think that's always going to be the case. If you do get together with friends or family, don't not talk about the elephant in the room. Like, oh, what would Alexander, like, you know what? I think Alexander would have loved this. Alexander wouldn't have probably liked this. What do you think we would have gotten Alexander this year? Or just talk about them like they're here, or tell. And a lot of people who, for example, this friend I was telling you about, her sister was in her 40s. So she had 40 years of memories. Talk about a fucking memory. What happened last Christmas? What happened when you were kids? Anything like that. We don't have that many years of memories. So it's now, a lot of it is, what would they like now? Or, you know, and if you have memories, just talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, talk about it, mention them. That's what I would say.
And I think another mom has also mentioned, don't ignore the fact that it's a difficult time for us. Just say,
Totally.
like, I know that this fucking sucks. I know the holiday seasons aren't easy.
Yeah.
And
Or
I
just,
think-
how are you?
Yeah, how are
How are
you?
you doing?
Nobody asks that
No.
anymore.
'Cause they don't fucking want to know.
No.
They don't want you to be like, it fucking sucks.
They don't want to
Yeah.
hear the real answer. They want to hear that other answer.
I
Like,
know.
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm fine. Which I give that to everyone every day.
I know.
So if you actually care about somebody who's grieving and it's a holiday season, I would say, how are you?
Yeah.
Really? Like, how are
Yeah.
you? What can
And
I
just
do?
the check-ins. Like I just was recently reading on some other grief group or whatever. It's just like the check-ins. I did this after my friend's husband died for, I don't know, maybe the first year. Hopefully I did it the first year. I don't remember anything now, but I would just be thinking of her. So I'd send her a heart emoji. That was ours. Another friend died, and to her widower, I sent her favorite color was purple. So I sent him a purple heart when I'm thinking of her. And he knows that's like, I told him, like, that's my symbol that I'm thinking of Susan and I'm thinking of you. Here's the thing, and
Yeah, just continuing to let us
Yes.
know that we're not
hey, how are you?
forgotten. When I get the random text from people and they send me a pink tree or they send me something that reminds
exactly.
them of Rylan, or they're just saying, hey, I'm thinking of him today, it fills my heart.
I know.
Like, it overflows.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's thinking about him.
Right.
There are other people still continuing to think about him.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the biggest thing is that I also don't know how to honor him in some big way right now because it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But I know how to honor him in the small ways.
Yeah.
And then it feels good when there are other people who get that and who still show up. So I think it's the showing up part, even if you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And
Send
then
a fucking emoji.
yeah.
Like, seriously, you don't know what to say. It's really hard for you. Send a fucking emoji.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super easy.
You could
That's
just
all you have to do.
That's true. Like you could just say what you said for your friend, the purple heart.
Yes.
And you could just tell him, like, hey, every time I send you this emoji,
Yes.
it just means that I'm thinking of.
And that's what I did. And that's my thing. Again, I'm not always great with words, even with you girls. And I get that because we always talk about people say the dumbest things. And sometimes I think, God, I've been through it. Alexander had cancer. We went through that. Alexander died. And I still don't even know necessarily what to say or what the best thing to say. And I probably still flub up. But that's why for me, it's okay. I'm an emoji girl. Like, I'm thinking about you. I don't know what to say because I don't know. I just not programmed that well. I don't like that way that I can come up with something articulate, but I'm thinking about you and I'm not going to shy away from it because I don't want to say something wrong.
Send a card in the mail. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I have
I don't do that anymore.
No, I have one friend who does not live here. She lives in Minnesota, and she will randomly send me cards in the
That's
mail.
a lost art.
Yeah.
That is for whether you're grieving or not. Like, that's amazing, like the old fashioned cards.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's literally just a card thinking of you. I know this is hard. And when you think about it in today's age, the fact that somebody took the time to get a card,
Right.
to write in it, to put your address on it, and
To
a stamp,
mail it.
and to mail that shit. Like, that in itself.
Especially in LA when you have to find a mailbox. Like, I have to find a mailbox.
Yeah. So that feels good. I
Yeah.
think continuing to realize that whether it's been 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, it's always going to be hard. This is never going to get easier.
And maybe it's just as simple as asking everybody, like, what do you need? What's helpful? I don't know, because you ask me and I feel like it's almost, I don't know. We talk about this. It's so personal that I honestly don't even know. I could probably tell someone, okay, what does the Shawnee need? Okay, well, here are a few things I know that would be nice. But honestly, I don't know necessarily. Like, I'm thinking of people in my life who, we all lost similar people, or I don't know what they'd want. I don't know what, maybe they'd find that not helpful. Like,
But I think if you're close enough to someone and
Yeah.
you care about them, you care enough to find out.
yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
If there's somebody that you actually care about and love, you're going to find out what that person might want.
I feel like most people don't. They don't have the cojones to do it.
No.
Or the mental wherewithal, the EQ, whatever you want to say. I think the majority of people don't.
I think a lot of times in grief, people feel okay with thinking, oh, they just need their space.
Totally.
They want to be left alone.
Totally.
They need their time. So I think there's a lot of, it's okay because they just need to be alone. They don't want me to bother them.
Yes.
They don't want me to do this.
Yes.
Where in reality, for us, everyone's fucking left. Everyone's
Right.
gone. Nobody wants to fucking talk to me. No one
Right.
wants to look at me.
Right.
And you're just left forgotten. But I think on the other scope, it's the easy way out to say, they need to be left alone.
And we've talked about this. It's likely that if that's how it is, they haven't gone through something like that. It's just they haven't gone through something similar.
Yeah.
Because if you have, you fucking know. There are times where you don't want to be with a bunch of people or want to be on your own, but not like that. No one wants to be left alone. Yeah.
And I think there's people have this thought that time is going to make this better. When in reality, the longer you're gone from someone's life when they're going through grief, the more disconnected that person is going to become from you, the more they're not going to really want to talk to you because you haven't been there with them. Through the little things. And by being there for somebody, it can just be anything that we just said. I think like any of those little things. Send a fucking emoji.
Yes.
Send a letter. Ask how they're doing. Just drop shit off in someone's door if you live near them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And just if you see, and if you live near them or see them, you talk about the person.
Mm-hmm.
You always mention them.
Yeah.
It's not taboo.
No.
You asked me, like, do you tell them what you need? And I get so, I know what you mean, and you're right. We have to, but it's one more thing we have to do. I've got to tell people. That came up around Alexander's birthday, and I did. And it was hard for me, which was a good growing muscle for me, right? It's hard for me to ask for help, or it's hard for me to tell people exactly what I need. I don't want to be a burden, or shouldn't you know that? Whatever the case is, right? So I am flexing that muscle, which I guess is good, but it's also sort of like, really? Do I have to do that? But you do have to do that. We have to comfort people who, how many kids do you have? You say, well, one died, or mine died. Or you say I have 3. 2 are living, 1, what do you say?
It depends on the person.
But if you're going to tell them,
if I'm going to tell them, well, I typically will say 3.
Yeah.
And I just leave it.
But if you're going to go a step further.
So if they keep asking me and I feel like I'm going to tell them, I just say, I don't even know what I say, dude. I probably fucking black out at that point where I'm just like, shit, what am I going to...
Don't you say 2 living?
I don't. I
thought you did. Okay,
no,
somebody else says that. Okay, because I've heard that.
I have 3 kids, and then I typically will just leave it at that. And
right.
so if it starts getting into how old are they?
Right, which it always fucking does.
It'll depend on the person, and if I think I'm going to know this person for a long time. So if it's like a parent at my kid's school, then I'm like, shit, I'm going to see this person for the next however many fucking years. I might say my oldest child is my son. He died. And I don't always say when.
Yeah.
I'll just say, I don't know.
I know.
It just depends on the person and the vibe they give me.
No, I get it.
Some people give me the vibe. And sometimes I've talked about him like he's still alive.
Right.
I'll say how old he would be now.
Right. I say that too. I have an 8-year-old son.
Yeah. And then and then sometimes that's the end of it. And then if it keeps going, I'll just try to deflect or not talk about it too much. But I won't always tell people.
Yeah.
Because it's also a lot of, I will always say I have 3 kids.
Right.
I will never say that I have 2.
Right.
Always say 3, and then it just depends on the person what I decide to say. If I decide to tell them that he died, or if I want to end the fucking conversation and tell him that he died and be awkward. But typically I try to get out of it.
Yeah.
Most of the time I try to get out of it. And there's some people, if I'm seeing them the second or third time, it comes up. But the very first time I meet somebody, I don't know. I also don't talk to a lot of people anymore, Courtney.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
I mean, I talk to all of you, but I don't talk to anyone else.
I know. Have you gone through major hardships in your life? Then I have no interest in knowing you.
No,
it's just we're not going to have much in common.
No, if you have no major trauma in your life, we can't be friends because you just are not going to fucking get it.
Right.
We need.
Right. I'm really sorry, but I'm not the friend you need.
No, it's gonna be everything's gonna be sad all the time,
and
you have to be just fine with it.
Yeah, if you're not broken, I don't know what we'll talk about.
Nothing. We'll talk about nothing. I know we're not here to really give advice.
What?
And in grief, you can't really give advice. Like you said, grief is so personal and it's different for every single person. But just coming from your perspective, what kind of, I don't know what other word to use other than advice, but what would you tell people with how to prepare for the holiday season? What are some things that people can do to feel better or to cope?
Honestly, the only thing that comes to mind is just feeling how you're going to feel. Feel the feelings, but it's just, I think, grace, that comes to mind. Honor how you feel. If you feel like shit and you don't want to put up a tree and you don't want to go see your family, then I guess do that, right? I don't know. I just feel like you have to honor, you have to like know yourself a little bit. And I feel like for me anyway, going through this, I always say my spidey sense. I don't really know what it is. Maybe I'm just listening to my intuition or whatever more than I ever was. But I feel like I always have the answer. I just feel, okay, I know, sometimes I'm torn like what to do. But then if I stop for a minute and just listen, it'll just come to me like, okay, I want to go here. Even though it's going to be hard, it's going to be scary. I'm going to be sad. I think it'll be okay. I don't know. I guess it's not really advice because, yeah, I don't like to give advice because what works for me might not work for you. But that's what's been working for me for the holidays. So it's kind of like the plan A, B, and C. So here's a few things that sound, okay, manageable. Like, so for Thanksgiving, okay, I could possibly do this or this. These two feel okay. So let's try to plan those. But I guess feel the feels and just honor how you feel, whether you approve or whether you think that's what you should do. Just figure out how you feel and then maybe have a few options, like plan A if I'm feeling okay, plan B if I'm not.
I think that's one of the hardest parts about grief is being able to advocate for yourself.
Totally.
Because you get sucked into like the everyday shit that is life. And you get sucked into having to do the traditions and having to go places. And there's a lot of people who have very traditional families who want you to come and be at that table and sit there and
that's a
go
whole
to
other
the,
podcast, how
yes,
to deal with that.
yes, and go to the Christmas
Yeah.
parties and do all the things. So I think in grief, I think what you're saying is trying to advocate.
But doesn't it just kind of boil down to, if you think about it, does it make you feel shittier than you already feel or not? I don't know. That's teach in of his own. I don't really worry about, my family's a little different than that, and it's probably, fucked up. We don't have a lot of those traditions, if you will, but if we did, I don't care. Like, I don't want to go. I cannot go. I'm not going to go. If it's important and I feel up to it, I'll come, and that's it. So bye, Felicia,
Yeah. I think it's a thing like what we were talking about in grief, having to teach other people becomes exhausting. And I think that is...
Advocate for yourself, teach other people. Yeah.
Yes, it just becomes tiring. It's like, why do I have to be the fucking one?
It does make us, and I'm not going to say it makes us stronger, but my point is, like EQ wise, mentally, it does I think it's good for us, but it's a lot.
It's tiring.
It is tiring.
It's
and
tiring.
sometimes you just don't want to, you don't care.
No.
It's almost like I don't care enough, but
yeah.
I think you just got to do you. Give yourself grace. It's just kind of like, we've been through the worst thing I'm going to say it, even though the worst thing in the fucking world. And it's like, I'm not scared of you. I don't care. I just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, I need to do me now.
There is a level of that, not
Right.
caring that comes along with grieving.
Or is it just knowing what's important? You know what I mean?
That's better. That's more like it.
That's what it is. It's like what's important for your mind and your psyche and your families and your girl. I just keep thinking of your girls. And then I say your girls. I'm like, well, I don't want to leave Ram out. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what matters. So, I don't know. On some level, it makes it easier, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Sort of.
Basically, it's like you do what you have to do to get to the next day,
Totally.
to keep going. And then I think, shit, we made it 2.5 years. We've made it to here.
Which has clearly been a blur.
Yeah, it's been quite the blur. So how do you balance grieving while grieving and then also finding moments of joy during the holidays, if there are any moments of joy?
Oh, gosh. I think for me, personally, I don't think the holidays are going to be a source of joy for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever be. I'd like to be hopeful and that at some point I can find a little bit more joy in them.
Yeah.
But the holidays are supposed to be around your family. And our whole family isn't here, right? Like, my whole world isn't here. To me, it's just like any other day. So it's like any other day. How do you find joy and deal with the grief? And we talk about this a lot. I wish there was, somebody needs to come up with a phrase that is like joy and sadness. Because yes, I still have moments of joy in my life where I find, I'm with people I love or something's funny and I laugh. But instantly when I feel that, I feel sad because I'm experiencing this joy. My son's not here. So I don't know. I just think it's a balance of the wave, feeling the grief and then trying to be appreciative of the small things, which I think sometimes comes a little bit easier. I notice the birds, like I notice the hummingbirds, I notice the butterfly and that brings me small moments of joy because it reminds me of, it's like Alexander. So I don't know, maybe that's it. You're still sad that they're not here, but you see beauty. Like last night's moon was like
The golden moon.
it was so pretty. I was taking the dog for a walk and I was like, oh my God, it's just beautiful. And I found a moment of joy in that, So I don't know if that answers. But
Yeah, I think when I get those moments of joy, part of me feels like he put them there for me, So
right.
I think
Yes.
that's it.
It's a very well done. Yes.
So I think, again, there's no joy in the holidays, but I do have joy with the girls and seeing them happy. But again, it's also very much sad
Yep.
because I see them growing up and I see another holiday season and he should just be here. And I think of what I want to get him, and
Yep.
I think about what I want to dress him in for the holidays, and I think about all that. And there's a lot of sadness with the holidays. There's flickers of joy with the girls and seeing them happy. And then again, it's like what you said, it's the small moments and the signs.
I was going to say, maybe the joy are the signs. And
Yeah.
I think that's honestly, when we talk, that's the only thing that we all seem to, most of us agree on. Or like when we talk about the signs, there are moments of joy in that because we totally feel that that was them and they're here, you know? So maybe the holiday season is trying to find the signs. The joy is in the signs.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's true because that's really, we're always sad, right? You're always going to be sad, but you do get a spark of joy because they feel closer in those moments. And then that brings us happiness.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even like to use the word happiness.
I don't like to use the word happy
But it
either,
brings
but
the
a
joy.
glimmer. It brings a
brings
glimmer.
yes, it brings a glimmer because you feel closer to them in that moment. Like, I see you, boo. You know?
Yeah. Well, here's to a holiday season of small glimmers from our loved
And
ones.
lots of signs.
Lots of signs.
Lots of joy signs.
Just trying to get through it.
Day by day.
Everyone, day by day.
And it's just another day in the scheme of things, you know? Just another day.
That's true. All right.
All right.
Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
All right. Sad moms and sad dads, have a day. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Sad Moms. Help us spread awareness about grief and grow our community by writing an Apple review, rating us on Spotify, subscribing on YouTube, and sharing with as many people as you can. Until next time, have a day.